All right, moving along on my 1938 Plymouth. We've disassembled the brakes on all four wheels. You can see I've laid out my parts here. Generally try and keep them in order of how they came apart. That helps identifying different pieces. They're not all identical. This particular car has a larger bore master cylinder or wheel cylinder here. The rear part of it is larger than the front, and the pistons are actually different sizes. You can see them there. Now, what they used to do in the old days, I think that was for having proportional braking power. I think the smaller piston on the front, I believe, has more hydraulic force because it's a smaller diameter and sharing with the rear, so you're getting more braking power. I think on the front, and they use different sizes to make that happen. So, taking apart brakes on an old car that you buy, expect to find lots of rust inside. And what happens is brake fluid naturally attracts moisture, water. Just humidity in the air has got enough moisture in it to cause things to rust. Water gets embedded in the brake fluid and causes rusting on surfaces. You can see some there. That's a wheel cylinder there. So brake fluid comes in this line here and gets behind here, and it forces two pistons out. Two pistons are, there's a spring in the center, like that. And you got your seals that sit like that. And they go together like that. So when you apply hydraulic oil to them, it pushes these two out. I keep saying hydraulic oil, but I mean to say brake oil. It's not, I guess you could call it hydraulic oil, I guess, but it's special. It's brake oil. This one, when I got it apart, the seal was just, the piston seal, this is destroyed. It should not look like that. All rough and cut up. This is the one that was leaking. When the car was sitting, I could see it leaking. Brake fluid, that'd be why. A good seal should look like this. Nice lip on it. I'm going to say that when someone pushed this together, this goes in there like this, and the spring's behind it. I'm thinking when someone pushed that together, maybe they caught it and cut it, or something, folded it over. It's been leaking for some time. Brake shoes, again, yeah, they're decent shape. I'm going to say that somebody was in here. The previous owner, when he sold me the car, he told me that the brakes had been done. And I think what he meant by that was they put new shoes on. And I would agree that the shoes are in decent shape, and they're probably newish. But they didn't touch the wheel cylinders, as you can see by the condition of the rubber and the rust on there. Typical rust on piston wheel cylinder pistons there. Let's go down to the back. I got I took off, let me see if I can lay that there somehow, that light. I took a piston, sorry, not piston. I took a brake cylinder part on the rear here, took it right out. They're all gonna come out, just haven't gotten there yet. Typical again, more rust. The seals are in decent shape, and these ones are considerably smaller than the front, considerably, because I think like 80+% of all your braking power goes to the front wheels. So there's only so much brake oil that moves, brake fluid that moves every time you hit the brake pedal, and I guess you want majority of it going to the front. So they're different sizes. Shoes, decent shape, not too bad. Reusable, I'd say. Brake cylinders, I don't know, not great. So, while we got that apart, there's a backing plate here. And I wanted to show you the seals in there. This is the outer axle. There's your tapered axle shaft there. It's tapered batter at the back here. Mentioned that in an earlier video. I took off these nuts here. That comes right off. That's the backing plate. You can see the seal, the outer seal for the wheel bearings there. Sorry, not wheel bearing. axle bearing. There's a shim behind here. It could be 2 or 3 on your car, depending on how worn the bearing might be when it's set up. There's a spec for that. And this is your outer axle bearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide a drum on here loosely and put the nut back on. I'm going to just bang the drum and slide that axle. It's going to come right out. And we'll go from there. Just thought I'd show you that. So there you go. There's some progress on the brakes. It's typical of what you can see in an old car. This one is 80, going to be 82 years old. So typical brake wear. They've been done for sure, but it's time. When you buy a vintage car, expect to do this. Have a good one.